Thank you. So good morning, everyone, and pagpagitan. So since we only talk about the long-term run, so I'm going to discuss about the short-run output restrictions. When we say about short-run output restrictions, it refers to the limitation of a firm faces in increasing its productions due to the fixed factor of production in short run. While in economics, the short run is a period during which at least one input, like capital or land, is fixed. It means that firms cannot fully adjust all resources immediately. If all industries were initially purely competitive and were in a long run, so monopolizations of one or more of them would reduce consumer welfare. As we have seen in our previous discussions on pure competitions, right? Equilibrium price is reached where the price equal cost of productions or the lowest point of the average cost curve. In our graph, now, as you can see in the figure 76, price and output under pure competitions would be placed at P sub 2 and the quantity sub 2. In contrast, a monopolist would maximize profits at the point where the marginal revenue equal marginal cost. As can be seen from the figure 7 sa books, the monopolist has market demand curve, which show sloping downward to the right, and the marginal revenue curve, which is the MR that lies below the demand curve to maximize profit to monopolists. So as we can see, the price charged by monopolists would be the higher compared with the off charge in a market characterized by the pure competitions. In addition, the amounts of goods available to the consumer would be less the quantity one compared with the more goods that would be have been available to the consumer if the market were characterized by pure competitions. Una ang short run output restrictions. And now we're move on to the next topic, the inefficiency of the firm. When we say inefficiency, it means that these are the situations where a company is not using its resources, like such, for example, as labor, capital, or materials in the most productive way. This means that firm is producing less output than it could be for a given level of the input, or it in incurring higher costs than necessary to produce its goods or services. While there are many different types of efficiency, I know it's efficiency. So, in addition, it affects the welfare impact of the output restrictions. The monopolistic form or the firm is ordinarily will be not used as resources as to peak potential efficiency. So the purely competitive firm in a long run equilibrium uses the efficient size of the plant as the most magigamit nga efficient size of the plant. So the effect of the size of the plant is how the output that maximize the monopoly's long run profits are not necessarily the most efficient ones. Pero, however, if the monopoly is compared with the pure competitions on this point, the comparison is legitimate only for industry in which pure competition can exist. If an industry with a limited market relative to the most efficient size of plant, meaning that monopoly may result in a lower cost or greater efficiency than would happen occur if there were many firms, with each with considerably less than more efficiency in size. That's all my report.
Good, m- good morning. I'm Mary Ann Mori, and I'll be talking the sales promotion. The effective of sales promotion strategies is analyzed, focusing on their impact on market expansion, brand building, and competitive advantage. The costs associated with these strategies and their ultimate effect on consumer price are examined. The analysis draws upon existing economic literature and the real world examples. A descriptive analysis of sales promotion techniques employed by monopolies is utilized, drawing on case studies and economic principles to assess their impact. Sales promotion activities such as advertising can significantly benefit monopolies. These activities can shift the demand curve to the right, expanding the market and increasing sales volume. Examples include the advertising campaigns of major utilities like the Manila Electric Company or the Meralco, and the Philippines Long Distance Telephone Company, or the PLDT. These companies use advertising to increase market share, cultivate positive public relationship, enhance brand awareness. Furthermore, successful sales promotion can reduce the price elasticity of demand by convincing consumers of a product's desirability or indispensability. Monopolies can listen to impact of changes and demands. This strengthens their market position and reduce vulnerability and to price competition. However, Sales promotion activities incur costs that are ultimately passed on the consumers through higher prices. These raises questions about the overall welfare implications of these strategies. The use of sales promotion by monopolies presents a complex economic issue. While it offers advantages in terms of market expansions and brand building, it also leads to increased cost of consumers. The trade-off between these benefits and costs needs careful consideration. The effectiveness of sales promotion also depends on factors such as the nature of the products, the target market, and the competitive landscape. The potential for sales promotion to create barriers to entry for new competitors is also a concern. By building strong brand loyalty, monopolies can make it difficult for new firms to compete, potentially leading to reduced consumers' choice and higher price in the long run. So in conclusion, sales promotion is a powerful tool for monopolies to expand their market, build brand loyalty, and potentially deter competitions. However, the costs associated with these activities are ultimately borne by consumers. A balanced approach is needed, weighing the benefits of increased market reach and brand awareness against the potential for higher prices and reduced competition. Further research could explore the optimal level of sales promotion for monopolies, considering both economic efficiency and consumer welfare. Next is monopolies in the Philippine settings. The Philippines has a complex history with monopolies, experiencing both the benefits and drawbacks to concentrated market power. While monopolies can offer economies of scales and the efficiency in certain sectors, particularly public utilities, they also pose significant risks to consumers' welfare if not properly regulated. This report examines the challenges posed by monopolies in the Philippines concerning both historical context and contemporary concerns. The Philippines' economic history reveals a shift away from centralized control and monopolies toward a more free enterprise model. The period under an authoritarian regime saw a greater concentrations of economic power, leading to perceived abuses by monopolies. This experience highlighted the importance of balancing economic efficiency with consumer protection and public welfare. The deregulations of industries like coconut oil milling exemplifies this shift towards a more competitive market. The nature of monopolies in public utilities. Monopolies essential public utilities such as electricity, water, and telecommunications present a unique dilemma. While exclusive franchises are often granted to ensure operational efficiency and profitability, the inherent power to control access to essential services necessitates strict regulatory oversight. The potential for abuse is considerable as a monopoly can leverage its position to restrict service to consumers who are unable to immediately meet payment obligation. This can lead to significant hardship and public dissatisfaction. Consumer welfare concerns. The primary concern regarding monopolies lies in the potential of exploitation of consumers. The absence of competitions can lead to higher prices. Monopolies can change inflated prices due to the lack of alternative providers. Reduced quality. Without competition, there is less incentive to improve service quality or innovation. Limited choices. Consumers have fewer options and may be forced to accept subpar services. Unfair practices. Monopolists may engage in discriminatory practices such as selectively cutting off service to vulnerable consumers unable to pay properly. The example provides the highlights of potential heartless enforcement of payment policies. The rules of regulation. Effective regulation is crucial to mitigate the negative impact of monopolies in the Philippines. These regulations should focus on price control, setting fair and reasonable price to protect consumers from exploitation. Service quality standards, establishing minimum service quality standard to ensure adequate services level. Consumer protection mechanism, providing avenues for consumers to report abuses and seek transparency and accountability, requiring monopolies to disclose their financial information and operational practices to ensure transparency and accountability. So the Philippines transition towards a more free market economy necessitates the robust regulations framework to address the challenges posed by monopolies. While monopolies may be necessary is in some sectors, the focus should be on creating a regulation environment that balances the pursuit of economic efficiency with the protections of consumer welfare. This includes fostering a culture of corporate social responsibility among monopolies, provide emphasizing the role as public service entities rather than purely profit-driven enterprises. Strengthening consumers' protection laws and mechanisms is also essential to empower consumers and hold monopolies accountable for their actions. Continuous monitoring the evaluations of the regulatory framework are vital to ensure the effectiveness to protect the consumers and promotion fair competition. Next is the study of monopolies. This report summarized a study conducted by economists at University of the Philippines School of Economic examined the effect of monopolies on the Philippines economy. This study includes that widespread monopolies significantly hinder productive capacity, leading to economic efficiencies and income inequality. The report details studies finding focusing the theoretical underpinnings in empirical evidence and policy recommendation. The study begins with this established economic theory demonstrating that monopolies negatively impact on consumer welfare. This is achieved through high prices. The absence of competition allows monopolies to change price above competitive levels, reducing consumer surplus. Reducing output, monopolies typically produce less output than would be seen in the competitive market, limiting consumer choice and availability of goods and services. Resources misallocation. Without the pressures of competition, monopolies may not utilize resources effectively, leading to waste and reduced overall productivity. Empirical evidence. The UP School of Economic Study provides empirical evidence supporting the theoretical framework. Key findings include reducing productivity capacity. The study includes the numerous monopolies represent a substantial drag on the Philippines' economic productive capacity, higher than average profit and efficiency. Monopolies are observed to earn excessive profits, often at the expense of the efficient resource utilization. Waste and efficiency are prevalent due to the lack of competitive pressures, exploitation of producers and consumers. In industries where monopolies dominate productions, consumers face higher prices and subpar services where monopolies act exclusive purchase, like sugar, coconut industries. Producers receive lower prices than they would in a competitive market. The role of government. The study highlights government role in creating the main monopolies. Monopolies, yeah. Convert government mandated monopolies. The government directly created monopolies in some sectors, such as the National Food Authority or the NFA. Concentration in banking. Cons- Concerning trend of concentration in the banking sector is noted with close ties of broader economic ownership. Concentration. This concentrates resource allocation decision in the hands of few, both local and foreign. Expansion of government rule. The study observes that the government's expanding role alongside private monopolies negatively impact income distribution. Policy recommendation. Based on the findings, study recommends abolition of unjustified monopolies. Monopolies should be abolished unless demonstrably justified by valid economic reasons with a justification subject to scrutiny public discussion and review. Establishment or re-establishment of many monopolies should follow extensive public discussion and thorough study. This applies particular agriculture monopolies like sugar, coconut, and the NFAA's trading activities. Financial sector. Government financial institutions should diversify their funding source, moving away the source license of central bank credit. This will incentivate greater efficiency and stimulate competitions within the financial market. So the UP School of Economic Studies strongly suggests that the monopolies impose significant costs on the Philippines economy. The negative impact of consumer welfare, productive efficiency, and income distribution necessitate policy reform aimed to promotion competitions and discouraging the concentration of economic power. The recommendations outlined above offer a starting point of addressing this challenge of fostering a more equitable and efficient economy. Muna.
I think that would be all for our report, sir. That's all for lesson 8, bata?
Chapter 8. Thank you.
Chapter, chapter
Thank you. Bye, guys.